So let's go to Illustrator and create a new file. Click Create. And the first thing we're going to do is we want to place the Lyceum logo as photo reference. So we're going to go File, and then we're going to go Place. Here it is right here. Before we do anything, we're going to click Template. And this will set it and lock it and make it a tint, a lighter color, so it's easier to draw over. So I'm going to click on that and click Place. You have no control over where it goes. Go into the middle of a artboard, but we can adjust the artboard after the fact. But I want to go into layers just to show you that here it is right here in layers. It's locked. This is saying that it's a template. And if I come over here, you don't have to do this, but if you come over here and double click in this dead area, it'll show you that it's been dimmed 50%. So making it a template as you place it does a lot of steps for you, and we're going to be drawing on layer 1. But the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go spacebar, Command, Option, and zoom out a little bit, and then do the spacebar and kind of move it around. And then I'm going to go to my artboard and I'm going to adjust the size so a little extra space around the Lyceum logo. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add rulers, so Command R, and I'm going to drag the ruler down to this inner oval right here, bottom, top, left. And I want to make sure that it lines up right on the edge of that very inner oval. So these guides will help us in creating a shape that will align to that inner oval. And so I'm going to Command spacebar, kind of zoom in a little bit, and go to my rectangle tool and draw a rectangle. From that guide, those two guides, to these two guides, these little dots will make it curved out of corner points. And so I'm going to just do it all the way down and move it as far as I can until I see that red showing up. So now it's an oval, object, path, offset path, and I'm going to make it bigger until it is as close as I can get it to the white oval inset. So you'll notice that this particular oval, I did not create this logo, seems a little off on this side because this is perfectly spaced all the way around. So you can see over here we have some issues with it, but as long as I'm aligned to most of it, we're going to make a better Lyceum logo than whoever made the first one. So click OK. I should actually highlight these and change the stroke to, I'm going to go half a point. And so now we can see them because they're black. And I'm going to do this one more time. Object, path, offset path. And then this time I'm going to make it smaller until it lines up with the outer oval. It's pretty close. So, okay. All right, so now I've done the shield, and now let's work on the Lyceum. And I'm going to work from bottom to top. And so I'm going to come down here and close this. And I'm going to go to my rectangle tool and make a rectangle, line it up with this rectangle. And then go to the move tool, and I'm going to click on the center dot, option drag, and the option drag, option shift drag. Option should make a copy, and shift maintains a constraint to 90 degrees. Okay, so now we have one on each side. Again, if it's a little off, this logo could be slightly off. Let's just maintain the grid as it is. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make stairs, but I'm going to do a rectangle from the top stair to the bottom stair, like so. And then I'm going to make another rectangle for the step of the show where the red shows through. And I'm going to option shift drag. And these two should be the same depth. So I'm just going to leave it as is. And then hold the shift key down and select this, and the overarching rectangle. And now I'm going to go to Shape Builder, click on Shape Builder, hold the Option key down, and delete and delete. You'll see the gray, and we want these little squares over here to be deleted. Delete and delete. Next thing is I'm going to make a rectangle and align it to the very top before it tapers in. And I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. And I don't have to go all the way to the bottom because we have that pedestal. So I'm just going to go like that. And we can see here, if I zoom in, I'm going Command Spacebar to zoom in. And I can kind of make adjustments here. But you can see that it gets wider as it goes down. So I'm going to go back to the Direct Select tool and click off to the side and then click on this point and then just hit the left arrow until it lines up with the column. And I'm going to do the same thing over here until it lines up to the column. And that's probably good right there. And then notice that the column kind of bulges out here. So I'm going to bring a guide down to probably the center of the bulge. And I'm also going to bring a guide down to where it kind of tapers back in. I'm going to select the column and then go to my pen tool and add an anchor point right here at the bulge and right here at the bulge. And then I'm going to go to the anchor point tool and see that it's twisted. So I want to go this way, hold the Shift key down until that handle at the bottom reaches that other guide. Okay, so you can see this handle right here reaching the bottom guide. And then I'm going to arrow it out a couple, maybe just one. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this. Now this is actually going in the right direction, so I don't have to twist it around and lining up with that guide down there. And then put it out, pull it out. Maybe it'll be two. Yeah, we'll just do two each way, two this way and two this way. All right, so we have our bulge, and it looks too bulgy at the top, so maybe I overdid the bulge, made it too high. So I'm going to go to my direct select these two handles, so you can see they're selected because they're filled in with blue, and kind of move them down until it lines up. So I'm looking right here, and I don't see a lot of red there, and so that's a better place to have those handles. All right, so now down here, this pedestal, I'm going to make it with a half of a circle, and the half of the circle is going to the center of that circle from top to bottom is going to land right where the bottom of the pedestal is. And bring it over here. Don't adjust the center if I want to move it in and everything is locked at the center. And hold the Option key down and drag, and you can see that it moves on both sides. So we're always maintaining the center where it is. So I'm going to go to about right there. And then I'm going to create a line right here. So now I'm going to select, hold the Shift key down. That's selected. This is selected. And this is selected. And I'm going to use my Shape Builder to add these three together like so. And then I'm going to hold the Option key and delete that, and delete that. Now, this is a little off, so I'm going to select that point, and move these bullseyes until they're rounded. Doing pretty well here. And now I'm going to make another oval up here. And I'm just going to just eyeballing it. And then I want to center it, so I'm going to hold the Shift key down, select the column itself, and I'm going to select it again. You can see that dark blue. This is showing that it is a key object alignment. So the circle is going to align to the key object being the column. So if I center it like this, notice that it's off. So the column is off, so it's not really a good centering. So I'm going to take this and eyeball it. And I'm going to drag it from the center dot. That's pretty good. And then I'm going to take these two, I hold the shift key down to select both of them, and shape builder, add those two together. Click on these dots, see the bullseyes, and kind of pull them up. And these curves might be a little bit sharp. I'm going to select this, and up arrow. I held the shift key down to get both of them at the same time, and just hit the up arrow once. I'm happy with that. All right, so the next thing is the cornice. And the cornice, I'm just going to use a rectangle and have the rectangle align to the outer edge of the cornice here, here, down here, and over here. I'm going to take the direct select tool, select this, select this. So I'm just doing the top two, and then taking the bullseye and rounding them out until they kind of match up to the cornice. And then this and this. Take the bullseye and round those around till they line up to the bottom part. They might be two different curves, so I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing it correctly. Take this and go Object, Path, Offset Path. And instead of miter, I want to do this rounded. And then take the points down till it matches up pretty well. I'm okay with this. Click OK. Hold the shift key down, select that and that, this outer and the cornice, and I'm going to shape builder option take away, which leaves that piece right there. Go to the direct select tool, grab these two, and round these out a little bit. All right, so now we have our cornice and the pedestal. Take this and go option, see the double arrows? I'm going to drag it over, hold the shift key down while I'm dragging so it constrains to a 90-degree angle, and line it up over here. Do as best you can, lining it up. And now, instead of doing this 4 times, I'm going to take this cornice and go Object, Blend, Make. You can see all these different cornices, but we only want 4. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to go Object, Blend, Options, Specific Steps. And you can see it says 7. I'm going to go to 4, click OK. And that evenly distributes them. I'm going to do the same thing with the columns. Object, Blend, Make, Object, Blend, Blend Options, Specific Steps, 4. All right, so we know that those are evenly spaced all the way across. And the one thing about this is you can see that line right there and that line right there. If I go to View Outline, you can see that we have a shape here, shape here, shape here, shape here, but no shapes in the middle. So I want to change those to shapes. So if I select the cornice and go Object, Expand, Objects, Fill, Strokes, OK, that makes the 4 in the center. I'm going to do the same thing with this Object, Expand, and now I have those 4 in the center. Then go Command Y. So now we're not in outline mode. And this is pretty easy. It's just a rectangle. And then we have the roof. And so I'm going to go to click in the corner and get the polygon tool. And if it's not a triangle, maybe it looks like this. Maybe it looks like this. And you want a triangle as you're moving it, and do not let up on the mouse key and hit the down arrow 1 till it becomes a triangle. Then hold the shift key, and the shift key will make it straight across at the bottom to be a triangle, because now we're going to and just bring it out to the edge. You can see that there's some sloppy issues with the with how it was drawn. So I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to go select this Object, Path, offset path. Instead of rounded, I'll do miter. Now you notice that it is blunt on the end. Well, I need to change the miter limit until it goes to a triangle. So I just moved it up from miter limit 4 to 6. And so I'm going to click OK. And let's make some adjustments to pull it out a little bit farther. Okay, let's do it again. Object, path, offset path, and then make this a bigger offset until it comes up to the top of the roof. And notice that we have this and this, and even if we change the miter, it makes it too blunt. So I'm going to maintain that, and I'm going to fix this another way. Click OK, and I'm going to hold the Shift key, grab this bottom part, and just make it a little bit bigger till it comes down to the roof. And I'll show you why in a second. We want to make it look like it's the roof, the rectangle is cutting into the roof here, this rounded area right here. So next we're going to take a line, the line tool, and I'm just going to line that line right up with that angle right there. And I'm going to select that line and go Object, Transform, Transform Each, and I want to reflect it. And see it's reflecting on the y-axis. You can see that. So the y-axis is straight up and down, so that's where we're reflecting it. We don't want to reflect it on the x-axis, which is more horizontal. We're going to reflect it on the y-axis, but also I want to move it over here. So I'm going to move it horizontally in a negative direction. And you notice that it stops right there, but if I'm holding the Shift key and the down arrow, it'll go beyond that little dot on the bar. I went a little bit too far, so I'm going to go to the up arrow, let up on the Shift key, and I guess I'll line it up there at the very bottom where this is touching the white, and then make copy. So the other thing is I'm going to take these two guys and group them, Command G, and I'm going to line them to the center of this larger roof. So so they made a slight adjustment, but we're good with that. And then I'm going to take this, and then go Shape Builder, Option, Take Away, Take Away, Take Away, oop, Take Away, Take Away, Take Away, Take Away. Now I can see that's slightly off on the rectangle, so I'm going to take these three triangles and the rectangle. I'm holding the Shift key down as I select all of them. So they're all selected, and now I'm going to select the rectangle once again to make it a key and align. Oh, I forgot this one. And then align all of them to the center of this rectangle. Okay, so I made a slight adjustment, which is good. And now I'm going to take this rectangle, Object, Path, Offset Path, Rounded, and then make it smaller so it lines up. That's pretty good. Okay, and then take the most outer roof and that rounded rectangle, Shape Builder, hold the Option key down, and so I'm going to direct select here and here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit and round that ever so slightly. And then down here and here, zoom in and round that ever so slightly. And now we have a cleaner version of the Lyceum logo. So I'm going to go over here to my layers, turn off the Lyceum logo photo reference, select all of this, go to my colors. I'm just going to select some red. Here's a red right here. And then select this white, hold this selection tool, drag over everything, and then hold the shift key down and drag over a little bit of the shield. So now all that's left over is the Lyceum itself, and we can make that Lyceum white. Now this we can make red. And then we'll select all of it and take the line away. So we'll get rid of the black line. And we've created the Lyceum logo in Illustrator.